This video, it goes along with the sheets that I have printed out. Someone were to take a snapshot, right? So someone were to take a picture up in the air and like a snapshot in time of what we might need to look like on defense, depending on their team, who has the ball, and their shape. This is a breakdown of that, okay? Let me go through some of these positions so that you understand and how I label them, because I did label them in your packet as well. You have the LS and RS. LS basically means left striker, and RS is right striker. I have LCM and RCM. LCM is left center mid, RCM is right center mid. LB, CB, and RB, left back, center back, and right back, all right? Please keep in mind that these titles, these positions that I give you are not I want to use the word arbitrary, but I think arbitrary is such a, I don't know if you guys understand what the word arbitrary means. They're subject to change. That's how I should say it. Your position, your title on the field, whether you're a left back or a right back or a center back, your title on the field is subject to change depending on where we are on the field and who has the ball and how can we rotate to keep shape. All right, so the important part of this is don't necessarily focus and hone in on your title as much as focus and hone in on the position and our where we are on the field. Okay, and the position of the ball. Are we in the attacking third, the center of the field, the center third, or the defensive third? Do we have the ball? Are we in the attack? Or are we in the defensive mode? Do we not have the ball? How do we keep triangles? How do we keep diamonds? How do we keep squares? That's really what we need to pay attention to and really focus on. Let's begin with who is what on this team. So they have their defense on the outside. The outside back has the ball. This is their center back. This is their outside back on the wing. These are the two center mids, okay, in the back. And here there are two forwards up on top, their strikers. Okay. This is their center back. I lost a piece, so I had to bring in another piece here. So this is just their center back. On the sheets that I give you, I label these guys with a letter so that you understand their movement, because a part of how we play defense is understanding the other players on the other team and their movement off the ball. This is the ball, all right? One thing I want you to notice as we go through this is what side do I have the ball positioned on, and that's going to be key because that's going to kind of depend on where we stand and on what side of the player do we stand on. You're going to notice that I changed up our player position names, okay? And I think this is really important to stress before we even get started with anything. I label you guys and I give you guys positions. However, those positions are not set in stone. So it kind of goes, it's along the lines of the thinking of, if I'm a striker, I only play up on top. If I'm a defender, I only defend the ball when we don't have it. And we know by now that if we don't have the ball, we're all playing defense. So we have to play defense as a unit. And if we have the ball, we're all playing offense. So just because you're a center back or an outside back doesn't mean that you aren't a part of the attack, okay? When we have the ball. So to stretch that thinking a little bit further, all right, when I created these pages for you to kind of study, and when I created these like little snapshots, almost like pictures, like if we were to take a picture in the game and this is kind of what it should look like, all right, what I realized is is that really for us to understand how we need to play is, I kind of thought to myself, well, our strikers need to almost think of themselves as center mids as well. So it's almost like we have 4 center mids in a 3-2-2, okay? And then our center mids need to not just think of themselves as center mids, but outside mids, okay? And I think that goes for strikers too. So strikers are like center mids / outside mids, all right? And then outside backs, you're basically like outside mids, all right? So if you keep that mentality, I think it's gonna help us be able to understand kind of where we belong, where we could go on the field. You can switch within the game. There's going to be times that you're switching positions, really. I mean, a striker might become an outside mid, and then a striker might have to become a center mid, and the center mid might have to move to the outside mid or become a striker. So what is it that we're really trying to get at? We're really trying to get at shapes, all right? And how can we keep shape when we have the ball or when we don't have the ball? And what that might mean is that in order to keep the shape within a certain play, the striker might have to come back and play as a center mid, drop back and play as a center mid, while my center mid might be in a position on the field where all of a sudden playing more of a striker up on top is gonna keep the shape. So I hope that makes sense. In this snapshot, we have the ball on this side here, and I think that's really important to understand. I'm going to address that right away. So if the ball is outside on this side, that means we're forcing her to play the ball towards the out of bounds line here. Okay, one of the principles of defense is delay, and part of our delay means we have to make the play predictable. So if this defender pushes her, really takes off this pass, that's what we're doing. So how can this defender right here, who is the left striker, position themselves so they're really pushing this girl with the ball outside, okay? Because what it's going to do is, it's going to do 2 things. It's going to make the play predictable in the sense that we can all now, as a defensive unit, know that you're pushing the girl this way, and then we can react in the right way in order to either steal the ball or whatever, take the ball back. The other thing that it does is, if you position your body right, it takes away this pass. So in essence, it brings the numbers down on the field from having 7 of their players who could potentially get the ball to now only 6 players. Okay, so it does 2 things, and we haven't really addressed this in practice, and we're going to have to, in terms of how do we, when we go up to pressure on the ball, how do we pressure the ball in a way that takes off one of the passing options and makes the play predictable, and keeps the person who has the ball playing in only one direction. We haven't really addressed that. We haven't practiced that yet. We need to. But just understand, this is part of these defensive principles, okay? So left striker is going to be here. She's going to be pushing the ball this way, all right? My left center mid now, notice she's almost playing like an outside mid here. And the idea is this left center mid is going to anticipate this ball being passed through, all right? And when that ball is going to be passed through, because again, she's pushing her this way. We don't want her to go this way. We want to cut this pass off. And for the most part, really anything on this side of her, we want to cut off. So this is now cut off, this pass is cut off, this pass is cut off, this pass is cut off, just by her playing defensive, positioning her body and pushing her this way. So you see how important all of a sudden this becomes, cutting off these passes. So now we took away 3 of their players on the field, and now we have to worry about 1, 2, 3 players, you see? And now, as a team, we can compact. That's one of our defensive principles. We can compact this area and force her to either play a bad pass or force her to play someplace where we know it's going to go, and then we can go in for the steal. So now you kind of see how all this is becoming, how all this is linked and becoming important. All of these little details that you would never thought of, right? So she's going to play in here. She's going to play in here because she's going to add to the compactness here. We're going to compact this area, all right? And then two, she's gonna because she's making the play predictable for us. They're gonna try to either pass it here or she might go for the pass here, all right? But we're gonna intercept here, all right? We have my left back here, and the left back's position is pretty important here because if she does make the pass through here, we have somebody to pressure right away. Principal defense, one of the first ones is pressure, okay? All right? Now, the one thing that I think that's really important is to understand is that these teams that we are going to play, this was considered the first pass look. This is considered a first pass because they're one pass away. This is considered a one pass away. This player is two passes away. This player is two passes away. This player is two passes away. These teams, all of these teams that we will play will know and see the second pass. Okay, so if the first pass is not here, and we're doing a really good job right now defensively cutting off that first pass, if that first pass isn't there, these teams that we will play will know where to put the ball for the second pass. And that's something that we're not quite aware of yet, and that's something that basically needs to change. The sooner the better. The sooner that we understand on offense and defense looking for the second pass, the better we're going to be, and the more we're going to be able to hang with these teams. Okay? So she's here because she's going to cut off this pass if it goes here. She's here to protect if this player is, because this player is one pass away, so we want to have someone. It doesn't have to be right on her necessarily, because again, we kind of want to be back, and these positions and where they're located really are important. Every little detail about where they are, how far away they are from the player, and what angle they are in terms of the defending that player. Everything is so important. So please pay attention to every little detail. The reason why we don't have her stuck up here like this, and this is all detail you have to understand, is you're going to say, well, what, coach, how come I can't just, because now I can pass this off? Because she's going to see the pass here, you see? Okay, I'll show you again. So she's going to see, these teams will say, oh, okay, I can't put it in front of her like this or behind her. I'm going to put the ball up and over her like this. And then she's going to run onto it there, you see? And a lot of these teams can do that, and they know how to do that. So we have to prevent that. So how do we prevent that? By not playing high, by playing back a little bit like this. And by this player taking off the passing lane, now we have the front pass to taken care of, and now we have the back pass. If this player tried to play it behind our defense, we have that covered. And we have that covered by two ways. Her being back here a little bit, but also her. Okay, so my center back. And my center back is not going to be uptight on this player here. All right? We're not necessarily playing a 1v1 situation. We're not going to mark them man on man. We need to mark them, but mark space a little bit as well, and that's key. So if she tries to play the ball back in behind our defense here, guess who's here for the taking? She is. All right? All right, and if you look here, my right striker is not up high like this, okay? Because then who becomes open? She does, okay? So my right striker is basically gonna drop back here because she's responsible for taking away this pass and this pass, all right? So she could look here or she could look here. My right striker is responsible for basically, you are standing right now, right striker, you are standing in the path of this lane, this passing lane, okay? Here, all right? So that's where we want to be here. My right center mid is going to be here, so she's going to be ready to intercept here. Or if she makes the run through here, we're going to make sure we follow in through here. Okay? All right? You notice she's not really being covered and she's not really being covered, and you notice where my right back is. My right back is here. All right, one of the principles of a defense that we really didn't cover is balance. So if we're all over here, this right back here is kind of alone on this side, this channel of the field, and that provides our balance here in terms of we're really heavy loaded here, but who's going to be on this side to provide the balance? This right back is. So notice it's kind of a line here, okay? Now, I want you to understand that this is a formation when one of their defensive backs has the ball and they're up closer to their goal. Does that make sense? Okay? And this line should happen when they have the ball, but it's up closer to their goal. Okay? Yes, leave the space open. That's okay. They might see, she might be crazy good over here, and she might see this open space here. And then she might be running on here, but guess who's there to try to all of a sudden intercept that? Guess whose ball that is at that point? The right back's ball. So she almost becomes like an outside mid here, okay? All right? But for now, we're gonna leave them like this and like this. All right, and the other thing I want you to understand is this whole, the thirds of the field. So notice what third of the field is the ball in. It's in their defensive, our attacking third, their defensive third. So how, mentally wise, our mentality, how should we be playing the ball, right? Well, we should be playing to attack, to win. We should be going in for the tackle, high pressure here, all right, not letting her out. Okay, and we should all be anticipating, okay, playing high defensive pressure. Don't let them out here, because if we can take the risk if we go in for the ball and try to win the tackle. All right, that's what our mentality should be. Because if we lose the ball, we're okay still. They're not going to be able to attack necessarily, right? Our goal's down here. All right. Okay, now let's look at our second page, our second snapshot. We're gonna move the ball from this outside back to let's say she does get the pass off. Let's say she passes it back. All right. How do we make movement? All right. Well, now she becomes the pressure. All right. And let's say, so these snapshots should be like, within 5-10 seconds. Where's everybody gonna be able to move within 5 to 10 seconds? Okay, so because again, these players aren't just standing still. We're not standing still, and neither is the other team, right? They're passing and they're moving at a different angle. So if we get the pass here, she's probably gonna move back here for her, all right, here, or she could move through like this for a through ball, all right. In any case, as soon as that pass gets made, this person now, from the pressure position, becomes the cover. She's covering for her, and she's covering in here. So she backs up into the space like this. Okay? All right, so now it doesn't matter really where this chick goes right here, right? Because you're keeping her in front of you, all right? And you're cutting off this passing lane right here. We don't want any through balls behind us. That's what we don't want. We want to prevent through balls. All right, so by backing up, you're preventing a possible through ball. All right, and you're also keeping everybody behind the ball. So if she were to play up like this, she's not behind the ball anymore. All right, so get behind the ball, either onside or behind. All right, so that's my left striker. My right striker is putting pressure. These are the two forwards up on top here. So within, I would say, about 5 second time frame, this person's gonna probably be able to move up right about here. All right, and this person's gonna be now, because she's the center, so they're probably gonna shift over like this or so. All right. And then these two defensive, these are their two center mids, so they'll probably come one out here and one out here. Something like this. All right. All right, so what the idea is, they have a triangle here. All right, that's the shape there. All right, so and you kind of have them one staggered. One's up higher, and one's back a little bit more like this. All right, so here you have the left striker dropping back in like this, and we have a pressure and cover position, and she's also taking the passing lane here away a little bit, right? She's helping with that. And if they decide to go through all the way outside to the outside here, she's helping to take away that, okay? Because the right center mid, the right striker pushed up and now back, now these two basically have to shift over, all right? These two players have to shift in like this, here, all right? And the reason why they're on this side of the players is because this is through the middle. You want to protect the middle of the field here, all right? So that's why we're on this side here, all right? Now we're not going to be necessarily, you know, maybe in front, again, because they could, okay? So we want to be maybe on the side or a little bit behind them, okay? Again, same here, on the side and a little bit behind them. And now we can step in too if they try to play a through ball through the middle. So let's say she's dribbling and tries to put a through ball here to this player. We kind of cut that off, all right? All right. So what does that mean for these three? How do they shift over? Okay, well, this player's gonna probably come out wide here. Because, you know, usually when you play the ball back, you look to swing it. That's usually what you do. I mean, we try to do that, right? So they might look for that, all right? So here, she's going to now come up here and be right in here, okay? And so it may look like she's open, all right? But as soon as she gets that ball, if she passes out into space like this, who's going to be able to put pressure on her? Okay, my right back. Now all of a sudden my right back now is not, now if you look at that, my right back is not really a right back anymore. It's more like an outside mid, playing outside mid, okay? So we're gonna be here. Why would we not want to go and push up on her? Because it leaves all the space behind us open. We can't have this space behind us open. So we're gonna cover this space, all right? We're gonna cover this space. All right. My right back is not going to leave her, my center back is not going to leave her wide open. My center back is going to come push behind her like this, all right? And my left back is now not going to be on the side anymore, but you're going to drop back behind like this, okay? Now, if you notice, there's a slight diagonal line between my right back, my center back, and my left back, okay? A kind of a slight line. And that's, again, we want that because these teams that we play against, they're not going to see the first pass. These are the first passes. They're going to see the second pass. These players here, their second passes. So as much as we have to worry about trying to intercept the ball in front of them, really here we have to be careful, particularly because look at our back line is so high and we leave all this space behind us open, and good teams will know how to exploit that space. Okay, here, I'll show you all this space open back here. We need to know how to take care of that space, all right? And one way to take care of that space is to play your offsides line. So in other words, that's why I don't want someone way back deep like this, because what this last player in essence is doing is the offensive line now, the offense line, so like when you're offsides, if they were to not have the ball but make a run, look at this offsides line. Look at how far back we just dropped it back into our zone, and how many players are back there? Only one. So if the ball does potentially come into space, let's say here, and let's say she gets on it, all of a sudden we went from playing up here and having the ball here to now a 1v1 situation. And if the team is good, they'll exploit that, okay? However, we also have to be good, And we have to know how to take care of that. So what we want to do to take care of that is two things. One, again, we want to play, where is this player? We want to drop back just a little bit here. Not too far back, right? But back a little bit, all right? And this player's back here. And one of the things that we want to do is let's say she does make a pass up and over. As soon as you see that pass being made and it's up in the air, we have to react here. We can't just stand still. All of us have to react. So she's gonna try to get back to make sure that the player and the ball's in front of her. Let's say it gets beat. Let's say it comes through like this, and let's say she's really fast on the outside, okay, and she gets beat. Well, by this time, she should be making a drop back here, like this. Okay? And where does this player go? Well, now she fills in to become a center back. Alright? Okay, you see how all this, you see how we have to play together as a team now. And rotate. And shift. Alright, my center back is usually here. My left back is usually about here. Okay? So my right striker's pressuring, my left striker now is dropping back and covering this through. Because they might look for it here. She might look for it here, or she might try to drop back and get open because she says, oh, okay, I see that this player's cutting off my pass. I'm going to move back and look at this space. She can get to me here. Well, if that's the case, she's going to watch it, and as soon as she tries to attempt that pass, we're going to intercept here. Okay? All right? My right center mid is here. All right, protecting the middle. All right, notice again, it's the little details. Notice the ball's on this side, right? Well, what if she starts to bring the ball to this side and starts to shift over? Well, then we have to make sure we're shifting and we're working. We're shifting and working like this. And let's say she does make the pass here, all right? Then that's where she comes in. All right, so hopefully you guys can understand. Now, we don't want to be too far out this way, okay? Don't be too, you can't, because this leaves this open and this is trouble. This could potentially get the ball behind us. We don't want that, you see? We got to drop back in here and protect this space here, all right? The other last thing I want to say is this, and that is notice I don't have one of us in front of the ball. Okay, so if this is the ball and we're on defense, I don't have one of us in front of the ball. I have everybody behind the ball and working as a unit, okay? That's really important, I think, to understand, especially when the ball is in our attacking third, all right? So everybody's behind the ball playing defense, shifting, covering the passing lane, and or covering marking players, all right? So she got the ball here, and that's actually that makes, if you think about it, this makes sense, okay? So she's covering her. As soon as the ball gets played out here, my right center mid should leave her player here, okay, and now go put pressure on the ball. Okay, so now you're asking, well, coach, why are we leaving our one player to go? Because this player somebody needs to put pressure on this player. And if we all have to shift as a unit, it makes sense that she comes and puts pressure right away, all right? Now, as soon as she leaves her player, though, and puts pressure, these three have to shift. So now, my left center mid shifts to this person. My left striker shifts back and plays like left center mid, and my right striker just drops back like this. Again, we're behind the ball. We're all behind the ball. My right striker is not going to be up here. That's going to leave a passing lane wide open. So my right striker needs to drop back like this, and now we have this pass you can take away, this pass you can take away, and if she comes out wide back over here because she thinks it's open, you have that passing lane to take away. So just by this right striker dropping back, you're taking away 3 passing lanes, all right? That's how important our positioning is off the ball, let's say she does force her to put the ball on her left side going this way. All right, that's great. Now we took away this pass, and this pass. We took away 3 players just by angling our bodies and making the play predictable, okay? She's gonna cut off the passing lane here, drop in, protect the middle, right? My left center back is gonna now not necessarily be up behind her like this, okay? But on this side of her. Why? Because you see that your player up here is pushing her to the side, and so you wanna be on this side to intercept the ball, okay? This is very detailed, and you see how this is important all this is now. All right. My left center, so let's say she's like right here. This is their center mid. My left striker comes back and protects this left, again, not like this, not like this, not like this, not even up here like this. You gotta behind her a little bit like this, but covering the space right here, all right? Their forwards, these are their 2 forwards, their 2 strikers, they're gonna be shifting over, so we're gonna have probably one up on top, like this. One for sure is gonna be coming to the side, okay, to get open. And that's where my right back steps in right here, okay, right about here. All right, you can't be up high like this because they're gonna put it over you like this, all right? You can't, so don't be up high. All right, and you don't want to be on this side because you're leaving the middle wide open. That's a zoom. They're gonna get that, boom. Okay, so you really have to watch and pay attention to how, where, and what side of her are you defending. Okay, well the ball's on this side. All right, and to prevent from going back, we're gonna step back off of her just a little bit. All right, my center back. This is their other forward here. My center back is gonna drop back just a little bit here. All right. And my left back is gonna now drop back a little bit right here, okay? Again, there's a line somewhat here. You don't, this left back though, you don't wanna be so far back again because what you're potentially doing is that offsides line that we have, you've just created a really huge break in between here. So if they play a ball like this and she runs onto it like this, okay, you're creating that 1v1, that potential 1v1 situation. So you don't want to do that. So you want to play up high, like that, okay? A little bit behind my center back, but to kind of create that line like that, all right? But not too far back, all right? Here's the ball, and this is here. Okay, so hopefully you recognized how we just shifted as a team, okay? All right, we're taking off passing lanes, and that's, again, playing this level, you have to recognize the passing lanes, all right? Notice that we're not gonna just follow the ball here, and notice that we have to drop back and prevent the through pass, okay? Don't let them pass behind us. All right, and split us like this. We can't allow that to happen. So we gotta play smart. We gotta know what passing lanes to take off. All right. I like it that if their center mid's here, my left center mid's here. I like it that we're not necessarily playing direct up on top like this, but back here. Because again, if she does try to make a pass through, who can come in and intercept? She can, my left center back, or my left center mid, okay? So that's snapshot 3. Snapshot 4. In snapshot 4, the pass gets made to their center mids here, to this center mid, all right? So what does this mean? Well, she's probably going to get wide here. All right. If she gets wide here, you're not going to go and follow her. You're going to drop back here. Drop back. Okay? Protect the side passing that could potentially happen. All right? Yeah, there we go. She's got the ball. This now, she got past to this player. She's going to go up and put pressure right away. This outside mid is going to be pushed up to here. What is this left? Okay, this is where it kind of becomes tricky. This player is gonna, these players are all gonna push up on their side like this. This player's gonna get outside probably wide like this because she's got the ball. So they're gonna look to try to through pass it. See, through pass it probably through here. All right. So she's gonna kind of come back in here. All right, protecting this middle area here, but watching this through pass out here. That's where you're gonna watch. Watch here, but you're gonna protect here first. All right. All right. Their forward is gonna push up probably here, and they're gonna push up here. All right. So she gets the ball, and this is what it might look like here. My right back is gonna stick with her, so if she's not, you're gonna pull back through the middle like this. Okay, you're gonna protect this passing lane, okay, into space, which they might be going for. Okay, this player is gonna drop back here. This player is now gonna take ball. This player, as this happens, drops back here, okay, and takes away this passing lane here. Protects the middle, takes away this passing, and actually kind of takes away two passing lanes. Right? Okay. All right. The other thing is let's see, my right. Okay, we're gonna be back here. So where does this player go? This player is going to drop back here now and protect this passing lane right here. Okay, so she's going to protect, she's got this player, but she's protecting this passing lane here. She has got this player, but she's protecting this passing lane here. Okay? And she's protecting the middle so that if this player tries to take her one-on-one, what can she do? Now you double team her. All right? All right. All right, notice part of principles of defense too as well is compactness. We're compacting the field. We're scrunching in and we're pushing in the middle, all right, and having them play to the outside or back. A big key thing is if we force them to play the ball outside wide, okay, let's say outside wide, outside back, all right, that's a win for us. Every time we force them to the outside or back, that's a win. Every time that they get the ball through the middle, all right, and they're able to advance the ball, that means we're not doing a good job of compacting ourselves, and that means we're not doing a good job of knowing our positions and stuff like that in order to push them outside wide, all right? So we don't need to worry about these players necessarily, and that's why I want you to understand. We have to worry about the person who has the ball and everybody in front of that person. Okay, whoever has the ball and everybody in front of that person. All right, and for the most part, that's 1, 2, 3 players. As soon as this person starts making a run in like this, yes, we have to worry about her. Yes, at this point, we're not going to go in and mark up because she didn't make the pass yet, but we're going to anticipate that pass and swipe through here. Okay? All right, but for right now, this is where she started, and this is where we're going to be. And part of the reason why we have these two people, and I want you to notice something too. This player and this player are behind my center back, so it creates a triangle. A really flat triangle, okay? Flat triangle. This is a very deep triangle because it's from here to here, it's deep, right? This is a very flat triangle. It's like we took the triangle and squished it, okay? And I think that's really important to understand and realize. Because by these two playing back a little bit, not far back, because again, you have to worry about that offensive line, but just back enough that if she tries to pop over through the middle, you two are here. are in, okay? Okay, so that's the snapshot for this one, okay? And this player, I mean, this player has room to play here. I mean, we have this player here that's going to be kind of, you know, watching this, all this area. This player can come back, oh, she has the ball, sorry. This player can come back in through here like this and take off this passing lane, but then if it gets past here, go up and put pressure here, right? Okay, just know that we have to be able to shift. How are we going to shift, right? How are we going to shift to make sure that we have keep everybody behind the ball here? All right. Let's look at last snapshot, and that is, let's say this center mid now connects to this center mid and gets the pass off here, through here. How do we rotate? Well, this becomes a little tricky. All right, first of all, this pass should never get through like that because we have 3 people kind of on that side. But let's say it just does. Let's say then she's going to be coming in 5 to 10 seconds. What does that mean for these players off the ball? Well, she's probably going to come here to help, you know, to swing the ball. She's probably going to advance up here like this. So now she's almost like a forward here. She's going to probably come back through in like this. Okay, and these are all their back players. So center back, outside back, outside back. All right. This is a center mid here. This center mid is probably going to get back outside wide here, like this, because they have triangle formations. That's what they're going to try to do. This offense, these are their 2 forwards. They're probably going to swing in like this. Okay? Yeah, like that. All right, so notice they have a diamond going on here. They have triangles here and a diamond here. Okay, so that's good formation on their part. All right. So what does the shift then look like for us? How should we be shifting? Well, this player now is going to come in here. This player is going to follow. This player went from here to here. This player we're going to follow. So as she's making the run, she's going to run backwards, run backwards, run backwards, run backwards with her, like this. All right. This player now is coming in for the attack, like this, to the outside. So instead of, this player needs to now shift out. That doesn't mean shift up necessarily, because we don't want to leave her by herself, but shift out this way as she's making in this way. Okay, so we're shifting out. All right, now this gets a little tricky, and we have to communicate. And I can't stress that enough. When we're shifting like this as a team, you have to communicate. Who's got ball? Okay, who's got her? So as we're shifting, who's got her? Who's got her? Who's got center mid? Okay, so we have to talk. All right, so it makes sense for this person because she's closest to the ball to come back in and put pressure. This person, this is where it gets a little tricky. All right. This person's gonna have to shift back in. This is the other center mid here. So this other center mid actually from the previous play. So this other center mid actually was protected by her. So she's gonna have to slide in like this. Not exactly on her like this, because if you're on her like this, you're creating this whole passing lane open. So get behind her, okay? This person now is gonna go from here to here and push in like this. Between this person and this person, they have to talk. One of them has to take ball. The other one, either this could be a potential double up and double her, okay? Or if she takes ball, she might have to drop back into the middle like this, or drop back through like this to prevent this pass here. We should be moving and playing as a team. This left center mid could actually probably even come in here more a little bit. Again, she's not. This right center mid can drop back and protect this passing lane here and here. This left center mid can come back in the middle now, like this, if she did that. And now she can protect here and here, okay? And this right striker can be up here. And actually we could, if she went in to double her like this left back should anticipate the ball try to be popped out here. Okay, so if she starts to make a run, we're gonna follow her as they're doubling her. And if we could double there, that'd be perfect. That'd be great to win that ball back. All right. Yeah, so again, some key things. If we make them force the ball outside or back, that's a win for us. That's good. We just gotta compact and protect the middle, in the middle of the field here. All right. Notice that the ball is now advanced from our attacking third. The ball has advanced for them, not for us. Is now in the middle third. Okay, so notice how we need to play if that's the case. We need to be a little bit more strategic and in the ball, still putting pressure, definitely pressure, and still trying to attack to win the ball. But just know that if you get beat, there's a consequence to that because they're in the middle of the field and they're that much closer to our goal. All right, so we really want to make sure that we're on our game here in the middle.